Rules for collecting information. What is information collection? This is a client survey in order to obtain maximum useful information for yourself. That is, this is the identification. This is the deepening of the need, or as I always call it in one word, the definition of the need. In fact, identifying needs is an art. You need to be able to ask the right questions, in the right intonation, at the right pace, in the right sequence. And now, in fact, in a couple of minutes, I will tell you and teach you how to do it correctly. There are 9 basic rules. Rule 1. Always use a script. A script is a ready-made template that has been worked on by tens, hundreds of sellers, thousands of dialogues, and accordingly, it carries the maximum benefit and the most correct questions in the sequence that we need. The second rule: always ask questions in sequence. Never interchange questions in the script. The script is built in specific order: situational questions, about the current situation, problematic questions, about the problem, and guiding questions that help the client to navigate. If you turn it all upside down, you will not get any result at all, because it will be just a mess. Rule number 3. 1 question, 1 answer. This is often a mistake salespeople make when they ask a client 2, 3 questions, and the client answers the one he liked, or the last one, and the seller then cannot repeat it and gets lost. Further, rule number 4. This is a very important rule, because 30% of dialogues will fail if you don't follow it. Don't interrupt the client. It's just terrible when a client is talking and the manager cuts him off, interrupts him, and starts saying something of his own, or asks the next question. By the way, rule number 5 is don't make decisions for the client. That means you should not make any decision for the client unless he tells you. And rule number 6, by the way, it's connected to the previous 2 and sounds like this. Always let the client answer. Don't predict his answers and don't answer for him. For example, you ask some problematic question and immediately offer him answer options. The chance that the client will answer honestly is minimal. Another one of my favorite rules is to always take notes of the client's answers. During the dialogue with the client, when you ask a question, how old is the child? What is the child's name? How he spends time on the computer? What the parents prefer? Make small notes for yourself. In fact, they will be useful for recording information in CRM. Second, they will be in front of your eyes. Third, you will be able to remember them. And accordingly, you will be able to use them in your presentation in order to meet the client's concern and present the product. Next, don't be afraid to ask a lot of questions. Honestly, don't be afraid. Seriously, it's a pain when a salesperson asks 2 questions to a client and tries to sell. We must find out the client's situation. We must find out the problem, get details, get to the point, find the trigger that will make client make a decision, and only then, sell. Just so you understand, approximately 70% of dialogues are failing due to the fact that the need was not fully identified and the presentation was bad, very general, and not at all relevant to the client's needs. Therefore, the more questions, the better. Correct questions, and according to the script. If you ask me, Alexei, how many questions are needed? I usually say from 7 to 11 good questions to identify and deepen the need. I would like to share one last important rule. When we are identifying the client's needs, ask questions, but don't be too fast offering the solutions. During this stage, our goal is to create a customer profile, intensify his need, and be ready to present the product. So we identify the problem, but don't solve it until the right moment. That concludes the 9 essential rules. I strongly recommend having these rules in front of you while gathering the information from client. A single rule is plus 5% to success of closing the deal. All 9 of them are already a 45% boost. Thanks.